All right, welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom soundbite. I am your host, Mike Evans. I'm very excited to be bringing this soundbite series to you. Stay tuned on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Podbean for our latest episodes. And we're just going to be talking with Jeff Pearl, founder and president of the Pearl Engineering Corporation, throughout this and get some thoughtful insight.
Jeff, why did you decide in the year 2000 to start Pearl Engineering?
Well, Mike, that's a good question. And I think that when you asked specifically why in 2000 did I decide to start Pearl Engineering, Pearl Engineering started a lot longer than that. In fact, I'd have to venture to say it possibly started 26 years before that. And so, to give you a little background, and not to get into all my genealogy here, but I come from a long line of entrepreneurs in my family, and it's dated back as far as I can know. My great grandfather, Doc Pearl, was a blacksmith, and his name was Doc because I didn't learn this till recently. Was that he, because blacksmiths worked around animals a lot. A lot of times people would bring their animals and livestock, horses and cows and the like, to the blacksmith if they had an ailment with the thing, that it wasn't eating or it was sick. And the blacksmith would tend to become the local veterinarian. So they were actually the first veterinarians, and they learned old kinds of tricks like pouring water down cows' throats and stuff to heal them or whatever. So he was my great grandfather on my father's side. My great grandfather on my mother's side, Grandpa Daly, or Pop Daly as they called him, he was a barn builder. And I just recently saw his mallet that he used to drive wooden pegs in for post and beam construction barns back in those days. Following them, my grandfather Pearl was a farmer and repaired cars and also drove a bus. And my grandfather Sturgeon built houses and had a grocery store. And then my parents, my father was a contractor and started his own construction company with his brother. And my mother was an entrepreneur in real estate, buying old houses and renting them out. So my DNA was pretty much always set to become, to start my own business. And in fact, when I was growing up, it was kind of like I was the heir apparent to take over my dad's construction company. And at 14, going back to the 26 years I was talking about, I was asked on a job one time by one of the crew because I was kind of the heir apparent to take over my dad's business. And people were asking, so you're going to take over the old man's business one of these days? And I decided I really was fascinated by who decides how things get built, who designs that building or that structure or that house, and not just building and putting it together myself, but rather creating the design. So I made the claim at that point, pretty tall words for a 14-year-old, to say, no, you know what? I'm going to go to college and get an engineering degree, and I'm going to work a few years, and then I'm going to start Pearl Engineering Company. And so in theory, that's what I was to do. So I went to college, got my engineering degree, started working in consulting firms. I worked for a paper company here in Wisconsin for 11 years. And when they were about to get bought, or there was rumors that they were going to be purchased, or they were up for sale, for about 2 years before 2000, I actually started planning and building, networking, building my own office with my carpentry skills. And so by 2000, when it happened that I was let go, I had a business in place, I had clients lined up, and I was able to hit the ground running. And it's been the greatest adventure of my life. And I've spent more life in starting Pearl Engineering and building it and growing it to what it is today. And so it's been a lifelong dream, and it definitely a lot longer than just 20 years.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Pearl Engineering Soundbite. Stay tuned next time. Have a great day.